Hi students, in today's lesson let us work out the February-March 2019 full question paper. Okay, let us begin. All the best. The first question, Amol and Priya deliver 645 parcels in the ratio Amol is to Priya equals to 11 is to 4. Calculate the number of parcels Amol delivers. Students, before you start the solution, read the question carefully, what they are asking you. To the point you have to answer. Okay? And you must show all the steps. Now, there are two people, that is Amol and Priya. They deliver how much? 645. Means both of them together delivers 645, means total equals to 645. So given, what is given? Total, that is 645. In the ratio, what else is given? The ratio is given, that is Amol is to Priya is 11 is to 4. Calculate the number of parcels Amol delivers. They are asking you how many parcels delivered by Amol. They are not asking how many parcels delivered by Priya. They are only focusing on Amol. So students, for the first step is consider the ratio. It is given Amol is to Priya. That is equals to 11 is to 4. What is the meaning of this? Amol's ratio is 11, whereas Priya's ratio is 4. If you want to make it confirm, you just write it below. Amol is 11, whereas Priya is 4. So the first step is you add them. Okay? Add the ratios, that is 11 plus 4. 11 plus 4 is 15. Okay? So what is the total ratio of Amol and Priya? It is 15. Now, the total ratio is 15. The total ratio is 15 out of 15. What is the ratio for Amol? It is 11. That is, write 11 in the numerator times the total delivered by them. That is 645. Okay? Once again, in the denominator, you have to add the ratios, that is 11 plus 4, which is equals to 15. In the numerator, you have to write whose delivered is asked, that is Amol, that is 11 times the total. Okay, so when you simplify this, you will get 473. So this many parcels are delivered by Amol. If they are asking you how many parcels are delivered by Priya, then how you will work out? Out of 15, what is the ratio of Priya? That is 4. So write 4 here times 645. You will get the answer for Priya. But in this question, they didn't ask for Priya. They are only asking for Amol. That is 15. 11 over 15 times 645, which is equal to 473 for Amol. The second question, that is 1B. Read the question. Amol drives his truck at an average speed of 50 km per hour. He leaves at 7 and arrives at 11:15. Calculate the distance he drives. Again students, read the question carefully, understand what they are asking you. They are asking you the distance that is driven by Amol. Okay? So the first step, write all the given data. So given speed. Speed is given, that is equal to 50 km per hour. So the unit taken is kilometer per hour. He leaves, so leaves at 7 o'clock, whereas arrives arrives at 11:15. So you must find out what is the time taken by Amol to arrive. How do you do that? 11:15 he arrives. 7 o'clock he is leaving. So the total time taken you just subtract. That is 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. 11 minus 7 is 4. So he is taking 4 hours. The total time taken by him is 4 hours 15 minutes. So time taken is 4 hours 15 minutes. So this is in 4 is in hour, whereas 15 is in minutes. So students, the unit given is kilometer per hour. The time must be completely in hour. Now what is the problem here? 4 is in hour, whereas 15 is in minutes. So you should not keep minutes. Okay, everything must be converted into hour. So how do you convert 15 minutes to hours? You know that in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So if you want to convert to hour, you have to divide. That is 15 minutes divided by 60. That is equal to how much? 0.25. Correct? So this much hours you will get. So what is the total time taken then? That is 4 plus 0.25. That is equal to 4.25 hours. Okay, this is the main step you have to remember, because most of the students they forget to convert minutes to hours. Okay, never keep minutes terms or second terms. Everything must be converted into hours. Okay, so 4, no need to convert 4 because it is already there in hours standard. Whereas the 15, only 15 is in minutes, you must convert that into hours. By dividing 15 by 60, you will get in hours. Then you add for hours part, that is 4 plus hour, that is 0.25, that is 4.25 hours. So the total time now becomes 4.25 hours. Therefore, they are asking you to find the distance. So how do you find the distance? We have the formula. How do you find speed? Speed is equals to distance over time. Speed is equal to distance over time. Use this formula. Do you know the speed? Speed is already given, or you can change the subject. We want distance. So distance is equal to, you cross multiply this, speed times time. Therefore distance equals to speed times time. That is distance is equal to, what is the speed given? It is 50 km per hour times, what is the time? That is 4.25. Multiply, you can use calculator in IGCSE exam. So just multiply, that is 50 times 4.25 equals to 212.5 kilometer. Okay, why it is in kilometer? 212.5 kilometer, because the unit given is kilometer per hour. The SI unit for distance becomes kilometer. 1C. Priya drives her van a distance of 54 kilometer. She leaves at 10:55 and arrives at 12:38. Calculate her average speed. So they are asking you to find the speed. Speed equals to how much? Okay, what is given in the data? They are saying that the distance travelled by Priya, distance is given. So distance equals to 54 kilometer. Distance is given. Then what else is given? She leaves at 10:55 and arrives arrives at 12:38. So find out what is the total time taken by Priya to arrive. So how do you find this one? Arriving at 12:38, whereas she is leaving at 10:55. Okay, subtract. Now students, look at this one. This stands for minutes part, whereas this is for hours part. We can subtract minutes from minutes and hours from hours. Okay, but what is the problem here now? From a smaller minutes, that is 38 minutes, we have to subtract 55. Is it possible? No, we cannot subtract 55 from 38. So we have to borrow, correct? So we have to borrow from hour. You have to borrow 1 from hour. So you are borrowing 1. So when you are borrowing 1, 12 becomes 11 right there on the top. Okay, you are borrowing 1 from 12. Therefore 12 reduces to 11 and you are borrowing 1 here. Now students, remember, you are borrowing 1 hour. Okay, and 38 is not in hours, it is in minutes. Okay, so 1 hour means, which is equivalent to how many minutes? 1 hour means 60 minutes. So instead of writing 1 here, you write it as 60. Okay, now make it as a group. 60 plus 38 is how much? 98 minutes now. Now 38 is becoming 98 minutes after borrowing. Okay, now from 98 minutes you have to subtract 55. So subtract 8 minus 5 is 3, 9 minus 5 is 4. So this part is becoming 43 minutes. Okay, so write that 43 here, and from hours, 11 hours, you can subtract 10, that is 1. So 1 hour 43 minutes. So 1 is in hour, whereas 43 is in minutes. Again remember, we cannot keep 1 hour and 43 minutes. Minutes must be converted into hours because the unit given for distance is kilometer. Is that clear? Kilometer always goes with the hour. We say that kilometer per hour, meter per second. Okay, meter goes with the second, whereas kilometer goes with the hour. So remember, this 43 should be converted into hours. How do you convert? 43 divided by 60. Okay, 43 divided by 60. You can use your calculator. 43 over 60, which is equals to 0.72. 0.72 hours. Therefore, what is the total hours then? The time taken is 1.72 hours. This is the time taken in hours. Okay. Therefore, can you find out speed now? We have the formula. Speed is equal to distance over time. That is, what is the distance given? Distance is 54 over, what is the total time taken? 1.72. So divide, that is 54 divided by 1.72 is equal to 31.39. What is the unit for speed? It is now kilometer per hour. Or you can round this one, because in IGCSE, in the first page itself they have given, you have to round it for 3 significant figures. Now how many significant figures are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures are there. You can round that for 3 significant figures. That is 31 point, look at the neighbor is above 5, increase 1, that is 31.4 kilometer per hour. This is the answer. Question. Priya has 50 identical parcels. Each parcel has a mass of 17 kg. correct to the nearest kilogram. Find the upper bound for the total mass of 50 parcels. So the question is, they are asking you the upper bound. Upper bound. Now read the question carefully. They are saying that mass of 17 kg. Mass is equal to 17 kg, which is written for the nearest kilogram. So 17 kg is the nearest kilogram. It is rounded for the nearest kilogram. What will be the next kilogram if you are writing? After 17 kilogram, next nearest kilogram is 18 kilogram. Next is 19 kilogram. Next is 20 kilogram. Next is 21 kilogram, 22 kilogram, 23 kilogram. It goes on like this. Because they have considered to the nearest kilogram. In between 17.1, 17.2, 17.3 not considered. They have rounded to the nearest kilogram. What about the previous kilogram before 17? Before 17 it is 16 kilogram. Are you understanding? Because they are saying that mass is taken for nearest kilogram. So 17 kilogram. After 17 kilogram, what is the next nearest kilogram? That is 18 kilogram. What is the previous kilogram? That is 16 kilogram. What is the previous to that? That is 15 kilogram. So each 1 kilogram we have rounded. Now we have to find out upper bound and the lower bound. So consider the previous one and the next one. Okay, this is our given answer. That is given is 17 kilogram. For the 17 kilogram, this is not required. This is just to make you understand I have written. Okay, so in the data they have given 17 kilogram. You have to write before 1 and after 1. Okay, 17 plus 1 is 18. 17 minus 1 is 16. Now, what is the midpoint of this? How do you find the midpoint of this? That is 16 plus 17 divided by 2. You will get 16.5. This stands for lower bound. Lower bound. And how do you find the upper bound? 17 plus 18 over 2. That is equal to 17.5 is the upper bound. Okay. So write the answer here. So your answer midpoint of 16 and 17 is 16.5. This stands for lower bound. Whereas here the midpoint is 17.5. This stands for upper bound. Did you understand how to find the lower bound and upper bound? Always the lower bound is to the left hand side of the number, whereas upper bound is the right hand side of the number. Okay. Now find the upper bound. They are asking you only the upper bound. So no need to consider this. This is standing for lower bound. Don't consider that. We need only upper bound. So what is the upper bound of the mass? It is 17.5 kilogram is the upper bound of the mass times. How many parcels are there in total? Total there are 50 parcels. So you multiply. That is 17.5 times 50 equals to 875. This much what? Kg, kilogram. 875 kilogram is the upper bound of the mass. 1E. 67 of 645 parcels are damaged on the journey. Calculate the percentage of parcels that are damaged. Now this question is very simple. They are asking you how many percentage of the parcel are damaged. Okay. So given total how many parcels are there? Given total parcels is equal to 645. In that how many are damaged? Damaged parcel. How many are damaged? 67 are damaged. Therefore, what is the percentage? How many parcels are damaged? So, total 645 parcels are there. Out of 645 parcels, 67 parcels are damaged times percentage. We know that percentage means it is always out of 100. So times 100. Percentage means times 100. How much? Okay. So multiply. See, once again, total write it in the denominator. Damaged one write it in the numerator. So in the question there are total 645 parcels. In that 67 are damaged. Write that in the numerator times 100. Why you have to write 100? Because they are asking you percentage. We know that percentage is for 100. So times, multiply. So use your calculator, find out. That is 67 divided by 645, that is times 100, that is equal to 10.39. Okay, this much percentage. Write it for 3 significant figure. This much parcel is damaged. 1F in that first part. 29 parcels each have a value of $68. By writing each of these numbers correct to one significant figure, find an estimate for the total value of these 29 parcels. So they are asking you find an estimation. Estimation means not the correct exact answer. It is estimation. For how many significant figure? You have to write it for one significant figure. So read the question given. How many number of parcels are given? Parcels. There are 29 parcels. What is the cost? Cost is $68. Now they are asking you find the estimation for one significant figure. Now students, check this one. 29. Is it for one significant figure? No, there are two significant figures. 1, 2. Okay, so estimate this for one significant figure, that becomes 30. Okay, how do you write it for one significant figure? Check the neighbor. If it is above 5, increase 1. Okay, now only one significant figure because zeros after the number, okay, zeros that is at the end are not significant, and also zeros in the beginning are not significant. Okay, since 0 is at the end, 0 is not significant. Therefore, this is only one significant figure. Okay, now 68, write it for one significant figure. So again, there are two significant figure, round it for one significant figure. I cannot write 69. You have to write 70 because 0 at the end is not significant. If you write 69, this is not one significant. 6 also significant, 9 also significant. Okay, but 0 at the end is not significant. Therefore, 70 is for one significant. This is for one significant. Therefore, find the estimate. Total value of 29 parcels. So, what is the total cost I have to give? 30. For one significant figure, I have to consider 30 times. For one significant figure, I have to consider 70. So, when you multiply 7 times 3 is 21. There are two zeros. So, this much dollar I have to estimate. Okay. Hope you understood how to write it for one significant figure. Okay. 29, there are two significant figure, write it for one significant figure. The rules of one significant figure says that zeros at the end and also zeros at the beginning. See, if you write like this, 0, 3, okay, this 0 is not significant. 3, 0, 0, this is not significant. Clear? Whereas if you write 3, 0, 3, this is significant. Zeros in the middle are significant, but zeros at the beginning and at the end are not significant. In F part 2, it is a continuation of the previous question. Without doing any calculation, complete this statement. The actual total value of these 29 parcels is less than the answer to part F1 because students, what is the answer we are getting in part F1? that is 2100, isn't it? How we did that calculation? There were 29 parcels. The cost of each parcel is $68, but we have rounded this one for one significant, that becomes 30. Whereas $68, when you write it for one significant figure, it becomes 70. When you multiply this one, you are getting $2,100, isn't it? So what you did, actually your answer is 2,100 estimation, but they are saying that the actual answer, the real answer is always less than $2,100. Why do you think so? Without any calculation. Okay? Why? Because you have rounded up. 29 is rounded up to 30. 68 is rounded up to 70. So what is the answer you are writing? Because both are rounded. Both are rounded up. Correct? Because they are increasing. Both are rounded up. This is the reason. If you are rounding down, means answer will be less. But this is rounded up. 29 increased by 1, 68 increased by 2. So obviously answer is more than the actual real answer.